Boris Johnson has made a bold move in his Brexit bid. The British Prime Minister went straight to the top, to the Queen, to suspend Parliament for a month. And that's strategic because it will block the opposition so he can forge ahead with his Brexit plans. This is one of the most crucial times in the UK's history. Johnson has promised to take the country out of the EU by the end of October, with or without a Brexit deal. His opponents say he's depriving them of their democratic voices on this momentous decision.
If MPs don't come together next week to stop Boris Johnson in his tracks, then I think today will go down in history as the day UK democracy died.
But as Redmond Shannon reports, Johnson insists it's proper procedure.
Brexit is a political crisis like no other. And yet again, it has British politicians grasping for hyperbole.
This is simply outrageous from the Prime Minister.
This is a constitutional outrage.
It is a constitutional outrage.
It's not democracy, it's dictatorship.
A day after opposition parties banded together to stop a no-deal Brexit, Prime Minister Boris Johnson hit back. He got permission from the Queen to suspend or prorogue Parliament for 1 month in mid-September.
We've got to be bringing forward new and important bills, and that's why we are going to have a Queen's speech, and we're going to do it on October the 14th.
A short suspension is normal before a Queen's speech at the start of a new session of Parliament, but not one that's a month long. Johnson denies he's doing it to stop the opposition from blocking a no-deal Brexit on October 31st.
That is completely untrue. If you look at what we're doing, we're bringing forward a new legislative programme.
But the normally non-partisan Speaker John Bercow says, however it is dressed up, it is blindingly obvious that the purpose of the prorogation now would be to stop Parliament debating Brexit.
The first thing we'll do is attempt legislation to prevent what he's doing, and secondly, we'll challenge him on a motion of confidence at some point.
The problem for the opposition is that if it succeeds, Johnson could demonise them ahead of a potential election.
Perhaps finesse it to his advantage, make it into a will of the people, being frustrated by this institution here.
There is also the possibility of a judicial challenge against Johnson's move. A move thousands of anti-Brexit protesters in London are calling a coup as the clock runs down toward October 31st.
MPs return from their summer break next Tuesday, Robin. They then have those opposition MPs 4 to 7 working days to fight against that no-deal Brexit. When they return after the suspension and the Queen's speech, they will then have 10 more working days until that October 31st Brexit deadline.
Redmond, what's the potential political fallout from this?
Well, we're hearing reports today that the leader of the Scottish Conservatives, Robin, is considering quitting her role. And that is partly because of her concerns about a no-deal Brexit. Now, her spokesperson today said that this is not connected to what happened today, but the timing is very interesting. And it is worth remembering, Robin, that the EU and the UK could still strike a Brexit deal between now and October 31st, but it seems very unlikely.